Hello, good morning, everyone. I want to thank you for joining us today on this webinar on business analysis. So, thank you very much. And we're going to get started just right away. Just before we go uh, into the webinar itself, I would like you to complete a particular um, poll just to tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of your industry and how you heard about the webinar. And yes, just two questions, and that would be great. So please, I will appreciate if you can go ahead to help us answer those questions. Yes, to help us answer those questions. Yes, that will be great. Just one sec. Let me try to minimize that one. Yes. Yes, so please go ahead and help us complete the questions. Why I try to introduce myself. My name is Dejario, and I'm going to be your host for today. A little bit about myself. I'm a business analyst myself, and I've been in business analysis for quite a number of years, more than 10 years of my career life. May not have been as a business, I may not have that title as business analyst, but I've been doing business analysis for quite a number of years. And today, I would like to share with you some of the things that we're finding out for me as a person and as an organization, as Harry Baker, what we're finding out about business analysis and to help people who may want to develop themselves into a role or a job role called business analyst, or you just want to develop your business analysis skill or competency. So we're going to be talking about that today. But as you can see, yes, my name is Deji Ario, and I'm going to be your host for today. And I'm not going to bore you with all of those certifications there, but I've got quite a number of uh, certifications or qualifications around management, but they all contribute to business analysis, basically, and that's what that's what it is, basically. All right. So for you to get the best out of this webinar, we just need to do some few housekeeping stuff. One is going to take 1 hour. Taking questions, please, you can send your questions as I go through the webinar, but I'm not going to be answering the questions between the slides. So I will wait to the end of the presentation before I answer your questions. But please keep sending your questions. I've got some co-hosts or support in place to organize all the questions in one place so that we can go through them at the end of the presentation. And I will try as much as possible not to spend too much time on the presentation so that we can have time to answer those questions, because the most important thing for today is for us to answer your questions. So yes, we need that time for us to be able to answer the question. And please, if you are just joining us, please take time to complete the survey that pops up on your screen. All right. So the video recording as well is going to be uploaded on YouTube, and we're going to share the link with all of you at the end of today. Yes, and the presentation slides as well will be sent to the email addresses that you provided us with when you were registering. So yes, so you're going to have the video, you're going to have the presentation slides, and yes, and if you have any question that I may not be, that may not answer, or I may overlook, may not be intentional, please do send us your questions at the end of the, even after the webinar, and we will try our best to answer all your questions. Okay, great. So please take note that you can send your questions at any point in time so that we can organize them together and get them ticked off at the end of the presentation. Okay, so what are we going to be talking about today? Some few things. Number one, we're going to be looking at what business analysis is. If you are a business analyst already, that will not be new to you. But for people who are new to business analysis space, that may be new a little bit. But I will still define what business analysis is and what business analysts do and who a business analyst is. And then we're going to have that discussion where I answer your questions. And so please take note that you can send your questions at any point in time, and there are people out there who are helping me to organize those questions so that can save us time to at the end of the presentation to answer those questions. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Okay, so the beginning of our discussion today is what exactly is business analysis. So I'm gonna just fold my laptop. Sorry about that, so that I can scribble on the things that I've got on the screen. Okay, so number one is business analysis. Look at that. Business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise. So I'm going to be underlining some key words here for us to actually discuss. Number one is the practice. So it's something you do. It's not just what you read, or it's not just a certification. It's not just a course. It is a practice. And number two, that practice is all about enabling change. So as a business analyst, you are a change enabler. So you may not really have that title called business analyst, but your day-to-day work, if it involves enabling change within an organization, absolutely, you're going to need business analysis competencies. So business analysis is the practice of enabling change within an enterprise. You see, the enterprise here, right, can be anything. Can be a continent, can be a country, can be a state, can be a local government, can be a company, can be a process, can be a service. You see, that enterprise here is contextual. So it's not just a company. So it depends on the context that we're talking about. And how do you enable change? Or who do you enable change for? Who do you enable change for? Look at that. So business analysis is a practice of enabling change within an enterprise, for some people, for some stakeholders. So you are enabling change within a particular context for some people we call stakeholders. So the question now is, how do you do the work? How do you do your job? How do you enable the change? Number one, by defining needs. That's the first thing you do. You must help them to define the needs. The needs are the problems, are the opportunities that we're trying to capture, whether we're solving a problem or we see beautiful opportunity to make something great or greater or better. And two, when you help to understand that, then the next thing you do is recommend the solution that will solve the problem, or the solution that will help to capture that need or the opportunity that you've already identified. And lastly, you must support the stakeholders in ensuring that they actually get the value from whatever solution that you have recommended. So as a business analyst, first, as you can see from here, we took this definition from the BABOK. That's the Business Analysis Body of Knowledge book, version 3. Now, from that, from this particular definition, you can see here that some things are very, very key. Number one, you are a change enabler, and you are enabling the change within a particular context. And like I said, that context can be your organization. That context can be your department. That context can be just a process within a department. And that context can be a product. You see, so that context can be anything. So it's not really a company. So it can be anything. And that will definitely touch on some people. Some of them are going to be internal to your organization. Some of them are going to be external to your organization. But the key thing here is, as a business analyst or business analysis generally, it's all about enabling change within a particular context for some people. And how do we then get that done? We get that done by capturing the need or defining that need. And based on our understanding of the need, we understand or we recommend the solution that will ultimately deliver value to the stakeholder within or to the stakeholders within the context within which we enabling change. You see, so they are all interconnected. But six key words I need you to go away with when it comes to defining business analysis are changes, context, stakeholders, needs, solution, and value. So business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to the stakeholders. Now, taking that further, right? So you may be wondering, I still don't get it. So what's this all? I mean, what's this all about? I'm just quickly gonna talk about a little bit about enterprise. I know a lot of you work in organizations, whether private organizations or public organizations. You work in different sectors from the poll that is being completed right now. So please, if you're just coming in, please take time to complete the survey that pops up on your screen. We need that completed. So please take time to complete that so that we understand where you're joining us from. But quick high level description, high level guys. So within an organization, or when we talk about an enterprise, this is quite basic, guys. Very, very basic. Now, basically, within an organization, what is that? Why are you not changing? Yes. So within an organization here, that organization, like I said, can be public, can be private, can be NGO. We have some people leading the organization. We call them management or directors or senior leaders or whatever we call them, you see. And within the organization as well, we have vision, mission. And if you have been to our classes, in Arabica, this particular slide will not be new to you. But we like to start everything from this particular slide. Why? Because we're talking about an organization. So as a business analyst, you're going to be working within an enterprise, and that enterprise can be anything, like I have discussed already. Now, within the organization itself, we then have two sides. We have one and we have two. See, we have the day-to-day side of the organization, and that's where we deliver services and products to our customers. You see, the customers can be internal or can be external customers, and these guys, right, some of them are happy with our product, some of them are happy with our services, and some of them are not that happy with our product. And to deliver those products and services, we have quite a number of silos or departments or business units or whatever you call them, or divisions. If you are big, and so you may have divisions, or you may even have subsidiaries, and within those subsidiaries you have different functions like these. And there are many ways of partitioning your operational areas into silos, but this is just the simplest way of partitioning an operation into different silos. And this is what we call functional departmentalization. Now, at the end of the day, after delivering services, whether we are government or we are private enterprise or NGO, we receive money for our services and we receive money for our product, and we call that revenue. And when we take away the cost that we may have incurred, in operations, when we take that away from the revenue that we generate, then we can declare profit or loss. You see, so all the time we keep looking at making money or probably making a loss. And you may be wondering, what about public organizations, or what about NGOs? Do they really make profits or do they really make losses? Absolutely. They may not be declaring dividends at the end of the year, but definitely they still look after what we call revenue minus cost, and revenue minus cost is equal to profit or loss. So they look at the revenue, how do we grow our revenue, and how do we reduce our cost? You see, so all the time, every organization, every enterprise, even our own nuclear family, we looking at driving up our revenue and reducing our cost, so that at the end of the day, we can have some savings. You see, so every organization does that. And that's what we call operations. And you see, the products or the services that we deliver today, we may be good as of today, but what about tomorrow? What What about the competition? What are they up to? So we cannot just rely on the current services, on the current product that we offer to our customers today. So we need to look for, we need to improve them or develop another one. Sorry, just to quickly say, guys, please, we do not need you using the video. I'm so sorry about that. I could have mentioned that to you so that we do not distract other people. So I'm the only one that should be on the video for now. Sorry, you cannot use video because we're going to just keep stopping it. So please, for now, just to listen in. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so the product and services that we deliver to our customers today may be good enough, but tomorrow they may not be good enough. And based on that, we need to change. We need to change the services. We need to change the product that we deliver to the customers, or even find new customers, So when we're thinking about that, and that's the job of the senior managers, senior management team, they need to think about that. And we call that strategy. So what's your strategy to drive up revenue and reduce cost? And the only way we can drive up revenue, look at it, because this is business analysis. Please listen to this. Now, the only way to drive up revenue anywhere in the world as a business analyst or as a consultant is by looking at these two. Okay, because revenue itself is the multiplication of the number of products you sell at a particular price to the customer. So when we multiply products by the number of customers buying from you, that will be the money in the bank. So money do not just fall from the sky. Whatever money we have in our bank account, they came from customers who are paying for products and services. So when they're thinking about the strategy on the revenue side, they're thinking about two things: product or services and the customers. That's it. All right. There are no other ways of making money. All right. Now, the next is reducing cost. How do we reduce cost? Then we need to focus on how we operate in here. We call that operational excellence. Reducing the cost of doing business, automating our processes, downsizing, outsourcing. So there are many strategies that we can adopt here to reduce our cost. And as a business analyst, you are helping to think about these strategies. So the strategy basically, we focus on number one, customer intimacy, number two, product or service leadership, and number three, cost reduction or operational efficiency, or what they call operational excellence. So, but those strategies absolutely will bring about change. That means our product our product may change, our services may change, our customer segment may change, or we can even expand our customer segment to another country. You see, so all of these are quite crucial to driving or enabling change within an organization. And don't forget, the definition of business analysis is the practice of enabling change within an enterprise. So those changes may be to operations, those changes may be to products and services, and those changes may be to our customers. And any of those will definitely bring about some good stuff within our organization. And to then drive those initiatives I've mentioned, or those ideas I've mentioned, we need to turn them to projects, because projects are the vehicles. They are the vehicles we use in driving change. You see, without project, we cannot drive change within the enterprise. See, so there will be many projects, and sometimes we combine similar projects or related projects into programs. And whether related or unrelated, we have the project and the programs in a portfolio. So the portfolio is there to help us drive the implementation of the strategy. And when the projects are done, we deliver or deploy whatever we've created or developed within the project side. We deliver that to the operations, and that will change our processes, or change the way we operate within those silos, or change our product, or change our services, or change our customer segment. You see, so all of these are the things we do to enable changes within an organization. Okay, now, please, just before I move on from this slide, if you're just joining us and you've not completed the poll, please help us to complete that poll, and that will help us to really understand where people are joining us from, and yes, and that will be good for our analysis at the end of the day. All right. You see, don't forget, we're talking about business analysis here, which is the practice of enabling change within an enterprise, okay, for some stakeholders by defining the needs, recommending solution that will deliver value to those people at the end of the day. Now, you see, this particular slide here just summarizes an enterprise. So, as a business analyst, you need to understand how an enterprise operates. So you can see those yellow bay. The yellow bay are like the external part to the enterprise. And as a business analyst, you're going to be helping to analyze these components or these elements, the government, the economy, the society, the shareholders, and our suppliers, our competition or competitors, the impact they're having on us as an enterprise or as a business. And then, if you then come into the enterprise itself, then you should be able to help us analyze leadership, strategy, business processes that we're using in the operational side of things that I just showed you. So, as a business analyst, you helping with a lot of things. So if you do not understand how an organization or how an enterprise operates, then you're going to struggle as a business analyst. So business analysis is a lot of work, or takes or will require a lot of system thinking to see how different components within the organization, how they come together to produce value to its stakeholders, not just shareholders, stakeholders, whether our customers or our investors. Because without thinking about this, or our citizens, if you are thinking about a public enterprise, or our beneficiary, if you're thinking about the NGO. So we have many, many stakeholders that need to benefit from how we run a business. And as a business analyst, you can pull all of these together. You understand where they're coming from, you understand where they're going, and you know the implication of a change to any component and how it actually affects the other component or the other element within the entire system. So as a business analyst, you are enabling change, or you can enable change within any of these components that play a particular or major roles in that play major role in the way the enterprise is governed. Okay, just like I said, only the host can display video. So please, you cannot display video. I'm very sorry about that. Just to minimize distraction for the other people on the call. All right. So I've been able, for now, just high level, tell you the definition of business analysis. And just to quickly recap, business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise. And I've just shown you a little bit of an enterprise model. And there are many stakeholders connected to that enterprise. And how do you enable change? You do three things to enable change: by defining the needs, those are the problems, and the opportunities. And when you understand that, then you can recommend solutions that will help to solve the problem or help to capture the opportunity. And the next, your focus is on the value or the benefits to these stakeholders within that particular context or enterprise context that you may be looking at any particular point in time. All right, next, our next question, or the next question we say we're going to answer about business analysis is, what do business analysts actually do then? What do they do? Though I've covered that a little bit in the definition, but let's look at it. You see, a business analyst can work within any context. What do I mean by any context? I meant you can work within processes. You can help to improve processes. You can help to improve products. You can help to even select a customer segment. You can help to even recommend, based on your analysis, changes to the leadership team. You can help to change the strategy of the organization. So you can help to do many things. You can help to influence the competition. You can help to influence the suppliers. So you can help to enable change within any of these components, any of them. So it's not just within it's not just at the highest level of the organization. It can be at any level within the organization. So whatever the case may be, as a business analyst, you help to do some things. Number one, you help to understand the current state. The current state, depending on the context. So if the context is a process, so you help to understand the current state of the process. How does the process work today? All right. Does the process meet the objective? And do we have KPIs for that particular process? And are we meeting those KPIs? And if it's a product, same thing. If it's a service, same thing. If it's a department, same thing. If it's a person, same thing. So you can even help to analyze a person. So you can help to analyze anything. So you're working within any context. And that's why it's so important that when you start your project as a business analyst, that you understand the context, because everything is context. So when you understand the context, then you want to start by looking at the current state of affairs. How does it look today? And then the second step, so that's number one. Then the second step is, what do we see ourselves? Where do we see ourselves in the short term, medium term, long term, depending on the context that we're talking about? So you need to help or work with current number of stakeholders to agree where we see that context. So if we're talking about a process, where do we see that process in the next 1 month, in the next 3 months, 1 year, 3 years, 10 years? Where do we see it? Or if it's an organization, where do we see the organization in the next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 100 years? See, so whichever context you're thinking about, you've got to help to understand the current state and agree the future state. Then, as you can imagine, there will be a gap, right? There will be a gap between where we are today, even in our own personal lives. I want bigger things in my life. You see, I want to be a billionaire, in dollars. You see, so and there's a very huge gap between my current state right now and my future state. Where I see myself. So the question is, between where we are today, and all of this will be established with data. So we need data, because without data, no talk. Likewise, we need data here. We need data there as well. So we can see quantitatively and qualitatively the gap between the current state and the future state. And then, as a business analyst, you then come in to help think through what will be required to close that gap. And that's what we call requirement engineering. What will it take to close the gap? Sometimes when we look at the word requirement engineering, it sounds so big, but it's a simple thing. What will be required? I'm not saying it's that simple, but the key word there is what will be required to close the gap in the process, to close the gap in the skill, to close the gap in the technology, or whatever we're looking at, or whatever context you considering. And not just talking about the requirement, then talking about the design. How will it work? How will it work? Because we can write all manner of things and say, oh, we can do that, we can do this. But at the end of the day, until we can see how things fit together, how things work together, it's going to be quite difficult for us to really close the gap. So this is number 3. Number 3 is thinking through with many stakeholders as to how we close the gap. And modeling all manner of things, drawing all manner of visual representation of the future, and how that differs from the current state. So that provides a pictorial representation of how the future will look like, and even how the solution will work at the end of the day, right? And before we can move on, before we even start to do anything, we need to agree, how will success be measured? How do we evaluate success? And what will be the definition of success? And until all of these are agreed, we shouldn't start to build anything. And when everything has been delivered, then we need you to go back to operations. That's the BAU that we talked about. We need you to go back to BAU and help to evaluate those things that had been agreed would happen, whether we are successful or not. And if we're successful, fantastic, we can do more of the success. And if things are not really looking the way we envisage, then we can improve. We can think about why did that happen and take some course corrections, to improve subsequent changes within the organization. So, as a business analyst, if we go back to that, okay. If we go back to yes, co-host. Sorry, co-host. You just logged into my account, and that's Emmanuel. You've just logged into my account, so you've just ended the poll. So you've just distracted that poll. Okay, so I'm so sorry about that, guys. All right. So next is, so we have quite a number of things. So we have the current state. We have you helping with the future state, and we have you thinking and helping to think about what will be required to close the gap and to design that feature and the solution that will close that gap. And when everything is done, you help to evaluate. So as a business analyst, you're powerful. Now, do we need these for projects only? No. Even in your day-to-day life, from today, from this hour right now, you can start to use this in any job you find yourself. Whether you are a customer service executive, it doesn't matter. Just know where you are, whatever you have been given. Start by looking at, where am I right now? They want me to do this, so let me know where we are. 2, what do they want from me? What do they want from me? Let me agree that with data. Then I can then sit down to think about what will be required to meet the expectation or to meet the objective. So many companies today, they use OKR, that's objective and key result. What will it take to actually meet whatever I've been asked to do today? So, and at the end of you doing whatever you've been asked to do, then you can evaluate, check, did you arrive? Did you achieve those objectives? And if not, then learn some lessons. So, business analysis as a practice is not just for business analysts, it's for anybody that gets things done. So, whatever title you have within your organization, business analysis practice will definitely help help you in delivering better success in your role. All right, so that's the high level description of what business analysts actually, sorry, that should be business analysts. What kind of grammar is that? What business analysts do. All right, sorry about that. The next thing here is, how do you then become a business analyst? How do you become a business analyst? You see, business analysis in itself, from that definition, is deceptively very small, but is kind of deceptive, like I said, very, very. You see, the job may be you are working as a business analyst. Let me just put that here. So you're working as a business analyst, which is a job title. But a business analyst plays a lot of roles within an organization, many roles. So we need to understand those roles they play. And again, in playing those roles, you need quite a number of capabilities. And what is a capability? For us, a capability includes many things. Capability includes the skills, that's the competencies, the experience, the context, the trait, and your ability to keep relationship and your personal drivers. You see, so your capability includes, or a capability includes all of these. And so we need to understand, what are those skills that are expected from, or we expect a business analyst to have, or somebody that says, I have business analysis skill. What are those skills that we're looking for? Now, in order not to waste your time, let's start from those competencies. So I'm going to talk about those 4 components of a capability. So when you say you have capability, all right, what does that mean? So number 1, starting from the competencies, which includes, can you see that? Knowledge. two, skills, three, and the behaviors. So we're looking for those KSBs: knowledge, skills, and behaviors, right? That will be required for success within business analysis domain. These, we currently in Ari Baker and our sister company called Lauda, we're currently working on a set of capabilities, capabilities that we feel that business analysts actually need. And these capabilities, we kind of categorizing them into many sections. First, we start with the technical. So here we have the technical. So as a business analyst, we expect you to have strategy skills, because you can help at any point or within any context, you can help with strategy. And number two, you can help with requirement engineering. You can help to then gather the requirement to close the gap between as is, that's the current, we call it as is to be, that's the future that we talked about. So you, first of all, that was number one thing that you do. Number two, and then the requirement there was the number three. That was the number three thing that you do as a business analyst. And after the solution had been implemented, then you check whether we've achieved whatever solution you recommended or not, or whether we achieved those KPIs or not. Otherwise, we wouldn't know whether whatever you are doing makes sense. And in performing your role as a business analyst, which are technical, so let me call these ones technical. So these are technical competencies that we expect a business analyst to have. And as you can see, within each of those categories, we have quite a number of big category of competencies again. And these lists here are not exhaustive. They're just representative of whatever we're thinking about. So this is not exhaustive at all, but just to give you an indication of what can be. The next, one of those things that cuts across is what we call management. So as a business analyst, you must be a manager. You must be able to handle administrative stuff. You must be able, you must have business knowledge, business acumen, how businesses work. Otherwise, you cannot help a business. You are a business analyst, or you are working within business analysis practice. So if you do not understand how businesses work, how can you analyze it? And you're gonna need to have a wide knowledge of some tools and techniques. Some of these tools will be office productivity tools, for instance, Microsoft Office, Office Suite. Or some of them will be specifically aligned with business analysis practice, and many of them will be aligned to the communication, because you're going to be working with a lot of stakeholders. Some of them, and looking at what is happening around the world today, COVID, so virtual environment, and how to still help do whatever you are there to do with many stakeholders, wherever they may be around the world, whether working from home or working from another country. And next is your ability. That's your person. This is your person itself, working with other people, being analytical. That's your cognitive skills and your personal characteristics. So as a business analyst, for you to say you have business analysis capabilities, I tell you, there are so many things that you need to have, which is more than a certificate. It's more than a certification. It's more than a course. See, I see a lot of people who want to just attend a particular course for 1 week, and within 1 week, they want to go write an exam, and then they feel that they are business analysts. Sorry, friends, that is not how to become a full business analyst. Yes, you may gain the certification, but the question is whether you can do the work. So you need more than a certification. Yes, certification is great, is good, and can get your feet at the door, but you need more than certification. And just from Babok, the list here is not exhaustive as well. Just from Babok, we have 50 techniques that will help you in performing all of these things that you need to do. 50 of them that you need to be skillful at using. Many of them will be useful in strategy. Many of them will be useful in requirement gathering. Many of them will be useful in solution evaluation. So they all cut across. So as a business analyst, you need to have knowledge and not just knowledge, practical knowledge of how these can be applied to a particular context within an organization. So if this is not understood, then we miss the entire point. So please take note of that. Next, so who do we have people around the world that know everything about this or have done everything here? No, hardly can you find anyone who knows everything here, right? So what happens is we have people that specialize. Definitely every business analyst will need these ones that cut across, right? These ones that cut across. But many people then specialize in some of those technical component, not even the entire thing here. So some people will specialize in process, some people will specialize in BI, some people will specialize in strategy analysis and execution, some people will specialize in architecting. So people then specialize because you cannot know everything. And so there are different types or different forms of business analysts in the world. So you can decide to specialize in a particular functional or technical area. But definitely you're gonna need those broad skills, and which we call T-shaped person. So you can become a T-shaped person, and next you can develop more expertise in different, in other technical areas. So you can become like an M-shaped person, or small combed or big comb. So you can have more, you can develop more. But absolutely, to develop those, you can see time. It's gonna take time. Why? You need practical experience, not just a certification. You need practical experience. So it takes time. Why? Because you cannot do too many things at the same time. So to develop deep expertise across many of these competency or capability areas is going to take years. And you must be patient. And that's why you need to ask yourself, like I'm going to be asking you very, very, very soon, or I'm going to be telling you very soon, you need to ask yourself whether you are really called into this particular profession or not, because it can be quite challenging and it will take time to really develop or become an expert in business analysis. Next, and part of becoming a business analyst as well, as you can see here, like I said, you see, there are many types of business analysts there. So if somebody says, I'm a business analyst, you have to question them. Which side? Are you business focused, or are you technology focused? Right? Because we have everybody just saying, I'm a business analyst. I don't get that. So where are you? What's your focus area? And even within business, as you can see here, some people focus on processes improvement. Some people focus on products. Then we have product managers everywhere. Some people focus on project management like agile. Some people focus on customer experience. Some people focus on design thinking. And when it comes to technology side, some people focus on cyber security, cloud, SaaS, software as a business, AI and machine learning, business intelligence, and business data analytics. You see, there are many, many fields within business analysis itself. So when somebody then says, I am a business analyst, we need to question them. Which one are you? And within every organization as well, all right, for organizations that are very serious about business analysis, right, they need to establish what we call career ladder. So how can somebody get started in business analysis? Whatever I have here, please, this is just an example. Please, this is not a rule. I'm only playing with this. Right? I was only playing with this particular ladder. But what I'm trying to illustrate here is within the organization, we need the career ladders like this, or progression ladder, that will tell somebody this is what we expect from business analysis domain, and this is how you can get started, and this is how far you can go. And not just saying how far you can go, we then need them to define the skills that will be needed for for an associate business analyst, the skills and competencies that will be needed for the business analyst, and so on and so forth. Because all of these competencies that we covered, or we talked about here, that we covered here, all of them will not be, you will not be required to learn all of them or to know all of them at the beginning of your career as a business analyst. But as you grow, right, you're going to be growing into many of them. So if the organization had not established how people can actually grow from stage zero to the highest level of business analysis within that particular enterprise, then it's going to be quite difficult for you as a business analyst to really have a clear direction as to how you can take your career next. So I just give this here, I place this here as an example. So for people at level one, that's the associate level. You know, in Arabica, this is just Arabica. In Arabica, this is what we expect from level one people who are just interns, who are just entry level. So if you're entry level, we expect some things from you. So each of these levels here, the organization must define what they expect at level one, at level two, at level three, and even at level one. So you can come in at level one, we then have step one, step two, step three, step four, because you must know how to progress, and it must be clear to you how to move from step one to step two and to step three, because people are stuck in their job. I tell you, people are stuck for 10 years, for 15 years, for 5 years, and they cannot see promotion. They are not even clear as to what it will take them to move from one level to another level. So your organization within business analysis practice must define how people can move from one level to another level, and even within the levels, the steps within a particular level. Next, let me not bother you with that because of time. Then we have the certifications. I mean, just how to become for all of these competencies and knowledge areas that we've talked about. Some certifications are out there. One of them is IIBA, which is one of the most common in the world. IIBA, which talks about level 1 to level 3. To level 4. But level 3 is where, that's where the certifications actually stop. That's the exam, because level 4 is not an exam, which had actually been scrapped, basically. So we have 3 levels of certification. So depending on where you are in your career ladder and what you want to achieve as a business analyst, we're going to be happy to advise you on any of these certifications, and which I may not be able to do on this particular webinar today. So please, if you need any advice as to which of these certifications you need to take, depending on your career vision, we will be very, very happy to advise. And another certification body in the world that is quite deep in business analysis is British Computer Society, BCS. British Computer Society has many certification levels, even more than high BA. So as you can see, their own certification starts from people at level 3, so people who have some experience, not just a starter. So BCS qualification starts at level 3 for people who are not new to business and how they can grow to become an expert in business analysis. You see, so from foundation to practitioner to professional to consultant and to expert. And if you want more information about BCS certification, you can visit their website, or you can contact us, and we will be able to advise you as to how BCS certifications work. But these are ways you can actually at least start to develop some knowledge about those competency areas. But to be honest with you, you can never have those capabilities without application. So you need experience. Okay. So this is just about 10-20% of the work. So 80% of the work is you actually applying the concept in a business environment or enterprise environment. So experience is very, very key. What kind of experience do we expect the business analyst to have? Many experience around strategy, around requirement engineering and design definition, around the solution evaluation, and using all of those other competencies while you carrying out those technical areas of business analysis. So I just have some examples, here. And so as a business analyst, you must be able to give instances or situations or context where you've applied those competencies to a real business environment or real business problem or opportunity. So if you cannot describe experiences, then you still do not have it. Because you can pick up the Babok, you can pick up the BCS books and cram them, but that does not mean that you know business that you can do the business analysis. And don't forget, we said business analysis is a practice. Right? Next, just because of time as well, next, there are some traits that we expect from a business analyst. Traits. And so you need to use this to check yourself as well, whether you have those traits. For instance, I'm not actually suggesting anyone, but this is just of a personality test. This is a personality assessment. I think it's to me. Why is it echoing? Uh, yes. Okay. Good. So we have the personality assessment. We talked about who you are. Sorry, this is co-host. Point.
Hello, we are not hearing you.
Wow.
It's echoing. The host, you look at it. It's echoing.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, much better.
Loud and clear.
All right, great. I'm so sorry about that. I needed to log out and log back in. Yes. All right. Thank you very much. So what I was saying is, this is a personality assessment, and I'm not really suggesting anyone, but this is from Mia Briggs. That's Mia Briggs. But there are many out there, many of them out there. But this is just to say that as a business analyst, you need to know who you are. So some people are introverts, some people are extroverts. Can an introvert be a BA? Yes. But that means you have to push yourself a little bit. Can an extrovert be a BA? Yes. But that means the extrovert as well, we need to calm down, to listen more and talk less. So you need to talk less as an extrovert. An introvert as well, we need to talk more. So we need a little bit of shift in our personality or our natural tendencies for us to be able to fit into business analysis space. So there are some traits that will fit into business analysis practice, and then there are some of them that you may struggle with. So if you want to know more about Mia Briggs' personality, yes, you can attend. In fact, you can go on YouTube to just listen to some videos. And if you want us to show you how to do that as well, you can ask us. We have some videos that we can share with you, and you can learn more about that personality assessment. And the last one is the driver. You see, many people get into business analysis space because of the money. So people just see it as a job to meet their financial stuff, which is good. Don't get me wrong. But some people, they see business analysis as a career. So they are looking for more than money, right? They're looking for recognition. They're looking to be seen as a thought leader in business analysis space, not just a salary. And some people have seen it as a calling. That's the work that I'm here to do on earth. We are not called to do the same thing because some people are very good with numbers. Some people do not just understand numbers. So you've got to check whether this is a calling for you, and whatever the case may be, you've got to make that choice, whether it's just a means to an end, just a means of paying your bills, or it's a calling. And if it's a calling, absolutely, you're going to devote so much time to studying those competencies and to be good at them and to be known for them around the world. And that's when that's when we can say that you found your ikigai. We call it ikigai. That is, you are doing what you love, and you are doing what you are good at, and you are doing what the world needs because the world needs it, I tell you, and you are being paid for what you are doing. You see, when all of these four things, when they come together, that's when we can say, yes, you found something that you can die for, something that you're going to devote the rest of your life to, not just to get paid today, and if you find a better job tomorrow, you're out of it. You see, so for you to really, really excel as a business analyst, you've got to be sure why you're doing it, and there's nothing wrong with you doing it because you want to get paid for it. Okay, so business analysis, is it a capability or a job? You see, it depends. But business analysis as a skill is absolutely needed for any job role where you may find yourself. But that does not mean that you need to be a business analyst. But if you have chosen business analysis as a career or as a passion in life, then you have to go for it. But if you are just using it, just using the skills, some of the skills, yes, you may just need to know the introduction of it and probably the first level of the certification. But if you have taken it as a career, then you have to go all the way. And let me just stop there. And thank you very much. Let me spend some time that we have left to answer your questions. And please, I'm displaying another poll right now. Please, if you can go ahead and complete that particular poll, that's going to be great. And let me quickly go to the questions. Let me go to the questions and try my best to answer as much as I can. Okay, so we have some questions here. We have some questions. So please remind me of BAU. BAU is business as usual. Business as usual. Yes, that's what BAU is. All right. And next is, please, sir. I'm not sir. Kindly help me remind the ability to drop. Okay. When and how do you determine the need to? When and how do you determine the need to change? Now, that is the a very big part of business analysis course, you see, which I cannot teach in few minutes like these. So if you want to know how to determine whether to change or not, then you will need to attend our business analysis course, not just anyone, and I mean it with all sincerity, because sometimes I cannot trust other ones. Yes, and please attend our business analysis course, and I'll be able to answer this question fully. Okay. Next, but definitely that would require a lot of data gathering to compare the ideal, what the organization expects and what is happening currently. So definitely high level, we start from common. Oh, sorry, I cannot write on this. Sorry. We involve ideal and the current state, and we can see the gap, and that's how we know whether there is a need to change or not. The next, are we getting the recording of the seminar? Yes, I mentioned that at the beginning. You're going to get the recording, and we're going to upload that on YouTube, and we're going to share the link later today. How do we start a professional career as a business analyst? What opportunity for jobs should we be looking for? Absolutely, you can start your career as a business analyst by at least having a very good understanding of the foundation. Those are the capability areas as per knowledge. So you can attend our courses, business analysis courses, to get started, and the opportunity for jobs. In fact, somebody still sent me a list of jobs 3 days ago. Yes, 3 days ago, including business analysis opportunity that they are looking. They want people to apply to. So we regularly get opportunities, and there are many opportunities around the world. And COVID had brought in a big opportunity as well when it comes to working from home and working from anywhere in the world. So there are big opportunities everywhere in the world when it comes to business analysis. And so it's not just one of those new things. It's been around forever, and it's still there, and the opportunity is still very, very huge. Next, I'm actually interested in business analysis to help me in my business decision rather than pick up a career. Fantastic. You see, at the end of the day, whether you are an entrepreneur like myself or you are a worker, you see, business analysis is all about looking at what you expect in life or what people expect from you, and looking at what you have and thinking about what will be needed to close that gap. So in fact, this course is more beneficial to a business owner than a worker, because as a business owner, you are thinking holistically, you are thinking end to end. Because a worker may just be in one particular area. Like I said, there are many types of business analysts. Some of them are just data, some of them are technology, some of them are product focused. But as an entrepreneur or as a business owner, absolutely, you're going to have that end-to-end understanding of the entire business so that you can guide the people reporting to you better. Okay, I cannot find any other question here. I'm actually interested in, yes. Okay, let me see. There is no other question. Let me go to the chat and see whether I've got any question there. Any more question? Yes. He said everyone should confirm the yes. Please. Yes, he has two devices, and at the same time, yes, somebody just logged on to my account, and I do not know. It's just one of my colleagues. Sorry about that. That's a very grave mistake. Yes, so we have Visio, wireframes, mock-ups. How tough are they to learn? Now, the business analyst itself, you use many of these tools about Visio, wireframe, so simple. All right. If you understand what problem you are trying to solve, using those tools are the easiest part of the job. So the real job is uncovering the need you are trying to solve before we then come to those mock-ups. But generally, those tools are easy to learn, and you can go on YouTube and listen to a lot of videos. It's all drag and drop, click click at the end of the day. But really understanding the problem you're trying to solve, that would take a lot. Somebody said, for some of us in engineering organization and are pushing to improve on companies, BAU, what level of business analysis would you advise us to do? And because this is not our core, like I said, if it's not your core job, but you just want to have that business analysis capability to be able to do your job better, your real job better, then I will start by saying do the first level, which is ECBA or foundation. At least that provides you with everything you need to know that can add value to your organization right now. We will get the slide. Yes, you're going to get the slide. And how can develop? How can I develop? Okay, I think it should be how can I develop presentation skill? That's another thing. I will advise you, whoever is asking that, to probably join Toastmasters. Toastmasters, I joined that when I was trying to improve my presentation skills, and that really helped me in improving myself. So please find Toastmasters, or you can contact us, please, after this webinar, and I'll be able to advise better on that. The next, please, what is the difference between BA and BI? You see, business analysis is quite wide and broad. Like I said, it's very, very broad, and business BI is just a branch. It's just a branch, and you're going to receive this particular slide. So it's just a branch of the entire stuff. That's business data analytics, business intelligence. That's just a branch of that particular study. Yes, and so yes, they can be used interchangeably, but BI is a little part of business analysis. So not really synonymous. But so BI is in business analysis, but business analysis is more than BI. All right. So for some of us, okay, yes, I think I've answered that. How can I have the opportunity to work as an intern in your organization? No, I cannot promise that you're going to have the opportunity to work as an intern in our organization, but regularly we normally have advert out there for interns to join us. But at the moment, we do not have any of such advert. So any of such opportunities. So someone that has 2-year working experience in ICT and 3-year working experience as an accountant, what stage of the business analysis certification would you advise for you to embark on? I would say we need more information from you, on that particular question. Please get across to us through our website, chat with us or call us, and we will be able to really advise you as per which of those certifications will be appropriate for you. Because we need more information to be able to determine that. What certification or degrees is a head start for a career in business analysis? That will be ECBA. That's the level 1 or foundation business analysis certification as well. Yes, please complete the survey, and we're going to get across to you to pick it up, to be able to advise you appropriately on that. Is practical engagement also tailored into your training? And yes, we are actually, like I said, we're developing these competency areas. And one of those things we are developing newly, which is beyond certification, we call it beyond certification and practical training, is to bring the practical aspect to it, which we're going to be launching very, very soon, apart from the certification. So yes, the answer to that question is yes. So please drop your detail, your contact detail. We're definitely going to get back to you on that. And yes, top 5 business analysis application. I will not be able to just list that, because the question I will ask you is what makes them top. So I cannot just say these are the top 5. So it depends on the need. It depends on the problem you are trying to solve. That's what we determine which one we then choose. So to just say top That will not be right. So I will not be able to say that at all. Role of data in BA, absolutely. There is no way you can be a BA without loving data, because you cannot describe a need or describe a problem or describe an opportunity without data. All right, because the opposite of data is just opinion and assumption, which are all nonsense. So we need data to be able to know whether we really have a need or we need something to change. All right. Somebody said, in a company's organogram, who should a business analyst be reporting to? You see, it depends on your organizational design and structure. In a small organization, maybe reporting to the CEO. In another organization, maybe reporting to the head of PMO. In another organization, maybe reporting to the transformation director. So it depends. So there's no straightforward answer to that. It's tailored to every organization, and it depends on your organizational structure and the rules that govern those. And there's no best practice on that. Every organization must do what works for it or for her. And are you having classroom anytime soon? Yes, we have a classroom coming on soon. We're going to send the detail to everybody on this call as well as part of the slides. So we're going to let you know about that. Yes, we have one coming on soon. In fact, we just started one last Saturday. Is it good to do MSc in business analytics? You see, I cannot just say yes or no to that. I will need to understand your goal. So please get across to us. I'll be able to advise you on that. To really understand why you want to take the MSc in business analytics. Otherwise, I'll just be a doctor who has not diagnosed and is trying to prescribe paracetamol to a particular patient. So sorry, I will not be able to say more than that. So please get across and I will be able to help. And how much is the cost? Oh, please, we're going to send the detail about the cost and the cost to you in the email. So please shed more light on design thinking. That's another skill area which this webinar cannot answer because it's big. So I cannot get into it because of time. And please get across to us as well. We'll be able to help. And at what point do you distinguish between business analyst function, between engineering and just core business? You see, like I said, as you can see from the branches here, there are different branches of business analysis. So it depends. So in engineering, maybe technology or technical, and then we have the business. So it depends on your organization. Then we can then decide, we can then know whether you are on the engineering side or you're on the business side. But definitely, absolutely, there are many branches of business analysis. And what's the difference between business analysis and business developer? Okay, business analyst is actually analyzing a business to understand whether we need to change anything or whether we need to capture a particular opportunity. Business developer is expanding the business, which is basically marketing, expanding the business to new segments, to new areas, or to new locations. So one is marketing focused, one is analysis and problem or opportunity, problem focused. Yes. So are you not assess? I do not understand that. Yeah, are you not? Okay. Toastmasters, yes, toastmasters.org. That's Toastmasters International. Yes. And there are so many, there are not so many, sorry, few clubs in Lagos that you can join if you're in Lagos. So is CBAP multiple question? Like PMP, yes, it is. So get across to us if you're interested in CBAP, and we'll be able to give you the full information about CBAP. Yes, several efforts to reach you fail. Despite the telephone conversation, it does not speak well of me at all. All right, I'm so sorry about that. Most of the time, I'm not in Nigeria, so many of the questions can be answered by my people, except they tell me the one that they cannot answer. So sorry, I think someone did not tell me about the one that they cannot answer specifically. So otherwise, yes, otherwise every question will be escalated to me. So I have quite a number of people I'm working with, and they provide good answers to some questions, and many of them come to me. Some of them, not many. Some of them come to me that they cannot answer specifically technically. Then I can answer those ones. Yes. How much is the training and certification? Do Arabica coordinate the certification like Prince 2? No. You have to write the exam online, so it's written through President Vu centers or at home on your laptop, and it is invigilated remotely. So somebody is actually invigilating you, or a technology is invigilating you, so they are watching you. All right. How do I take part in the training outside of Nigeria? Yes, we are virtual. So we have people in our current class joining us from Canada, from Australia, from the UK. So anywhere you are around the world, you can join us, and that will not be a problem at all because it's virtual. And I learned that CBAP has increased. Oh, yes. Okay, you can check our website for our prices. They are there, so we have nothing to hide. Is this webinar recorded? Yes, it is recorded, and we're going to share that. Are the classes online? Yes, as well. And let me see. Common application? Yes. Common used BA application? Yes. The commonly used BA application. If you attend the class, then we're going to talk about the application per scenario, because I cannot just say commonly used. There are many things we do in business analysis. So to start to name them, I may be promoting a particular vendor over another, which is not one of my objectives for this particular webinar. And to what extent is an hybrid role in PM and BA viable? You see, to be honest with you, that's the final question here. And sorry, I've taken 10 more minutes. You see, to what extent is it viable? To be honest with you, you cannot be a great BA without having project management skill. It's not possible. Okay, and you cannot be a great PM without having great business analysis competencies as well. See, they overlap a lot, and I advise people, whether you're a business analyst or you're a project manager, to get both. I mean, you need both. So you cannot do without them because they overlap a lot. So yes, there is a lot of overlap between them because one helps another. Because if you think about it, just from what I said, because I'm done now, just from what I said, you see, the project part of BA's job is just at the middle. That's the project. This is where we have the project. Because the project, the requirements are what the projects are implementing. So if you understand project management very well, that will help you to work with them very, very, very well. And as a project manager as well, if you understand business analysis very well, then you're going to be able to work with business analysts. But let me say this. In many organizations, they do not have the role of business analyst. So they expect that the project manager will just play that role. You see, so as a project manager, I advise any project manager to know about business analysis because a lot of things they're asking you to do, they require business analysis skill. And yes, so do you assist with the application? Yes, we assist absolutely. If you pay us, I mean, if you subscribe to the full package, but even if you subscribe to the training only, we help you complete the application. So yes, we do that. So whichever way, yes, we do help you complete your application and give you all the necessary direction you need. Absolutely. All right. So what tool did I use for the presentation? PowerPoint. PowerPoint, that's what I used for the presentation. Thank you very much for turning up on our webinar today. I really appreciate your patience, and sorry we ran over time. I didn't know we would have those number of questions we had, and please, I may not have done justice to many of the questions. Please send them to us, and we will try as much as possible to take some of these questions and answer them on our website as part of the FAQ on our website on business analysis page as well, so that you can have the answers to them. But apart from that, thank you very much, and I really hope you picked anything from the presentation, and we're going to be sending you the slide and the recording. So thank you very much. Nice to meet you if you are meeting me for the first time, and sorry if you have been trying to contact me and I've not been there, just because I'm so busy here and there and chasing many things. You know, I'm a typical hustler, so please, sorry about that if you've not got all the necessary things that you should have got from me. But thank you very much, and have a great weekend and enjoy. Yes, enjoy the rest of your day. Yes, Toluna, yes, nice to meet you again, and thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, and bye-bye, everyone.